what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You got Jason, the Overwhelmed Gamer here. And if you follow along, you know I am a huge fan of these homebrew games, which are new games created for old consoles. So in this series, I scour the internet and try and find demos that are out there for people that are making these new games and give my 2 cents on them. And today we're looking at Malasombra. I was lucky enough to have this one passed along by Rafa over at 4 megahertz. I think that's how you pronounce it, 4 megahertz. And man, I've got some thoughts. Megahertz isn't new to the homebrew scene. They have a whole bunch of other games that are out there. I'll leave some information in the description of this video so you can check them out. But this one is probably their most ambitious title. It's been in development for over 5 years. And man, I can really see why. Right off the bat, this one sucks you right in. The graphics and sound are really, really well done. It may be one of the most impressive NES games that I have ever seen using original NES hardware, to be honest with you. You start out in a forest and it really feels lush and dense. You really get this feeling that you're inside a forest. The music's super upbeat and catchy and doesn't get repetitive at all and really brings you into the experience. But even with the really, really great graphics and sound, it's really the gameplay that makes this one shine. It's essentially kind of your action adventure platformer, but it feels like so much more, to be honest. The game does require some patience and strategy, which I really like. So if you just go jumping around all willy-nilly without looking at what's coming in front of you or even what's behind you, it'll lead to an early death. When you first boot up Malasombra, it really sucks you in with the story. There's a nice little cutscene that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. And there's a lot of dialogue as well that gives you the premise of the story. But essentially this evil wizard guy shows up, turns everybody into frogs, steals your girl, and leaves you without your wand and kind of wondering what to do next. It starts out by throwing you into like this underworld where you have to go find your wand. So you have to traverse the map without any weapons and rely on platforming, swimming, ducking under enemies. And it really does a good job of making you familiar with how the platforming works. The swimming mechanic is really well thought out. There's parts of the game where you swim on top and then you can go underneath and you have a little bar that is kind of your breath meter. So you'll come to sections of the game where you have to swim underneath the water to go under this platform and come up on the other end. And a lot of times you just barely make it. So what you can do though is if you jump up out of the water or jump into the water from a platform, your breath meter actually won't start until you're a couple pixels down, which gives you just that little bit more time to get under deeper platforms that you have to swim under to get back up. Again, just really, really well thought out gameplay. Once you do finally get your wand, that's when it really starts to get fun. Going back to the physics here, some really unique things were put into place. For one, while you're running, when you kind of run one way and turn around the other, it has this little bit of slide to it. It almost feels like a Saturday morning cartoon, so you have to kind of strategize around that. One of the things that you're also really going to have to get used to is there's a little bit of pushback while firing your projectile at enemies. I really wasn't too sure about this mechanic at first, but once you get the hang of it, it really does add to the gameplay, and it also really makes you strategize on how you're going to take out some of these enemies. Speaking of the enemies, there is an absolute ton of them. There's things like flying bugs, there's all these caterpillars, there's also even giant trees that shoot apples at you and you have to jump up and shoot them in the eyes, and your timing has to be done really well. And you also have to be careful for enemies that might be coming up behind you while you're trying to take out these trees, which can be a little bit of a headache. And you also have to watch out for little things like apples falling out of a tree. The enemy AI is really well thought out too. One of the things I noticed is some of these big flying bugs, if you shoot them one time, they'll tend to move up. So it kind of gives you more time to strategize to where you want to jump up to either take them out, or you can shoot them once and send them upwards so you can then strategize again to maybe jump on a different platform and just go right past them. So all kinds of little things like that that just add to the overall gameplay, which made it really, really fun. Your projectile is really precise as well, and the mechanics as far as shooting too are going to take a little bit of getting used to, but once you do, they feel just right. You'll have to master some of like the jump shots, because there's a lot of enemies that might be on a branch that are just out of your reach from standing. But once you start to master the mechanics of it, it feels just right. You'll be doing these little jump shots, jumping in air and turning around in midair to shoot enemies behind you. It's just really well thought out. The enemies all leave drops for you as well, so you can gain health, and they also drop money. There's potions as well. The potions at this time of the game didn't do anything. I don't know if that was just a demo thing, but there's that as well, and I'm sure there'll be other things along the way. The difficulty in this one feels just right. It's not cheap at all. When you die, and you will die, you just kind of have to remember what's coming in front of you, so when you do it over and over again, you'll get the idea. But it's all the deaths were on me and not the cheap AI that some NES games tend to have. There are checkpoints in this one too, which act as basically your save states, but I'll say in the demo at least, they are kind of few and far between. So if you die and you do start at a checkpoint, expect to play big chunks of the game over and over again, but it just kind of makes you master that part of the game to get through it. And again, not cheap, just really well thought out. I was really trying to rack my brain as far as trying to compare this to any other NES game that might be out there. The only thing that really came to mind was maybe like a Faxanadu, but it's, I guess, kind of like Faxanadu, but with way better gameplay mechanics. All in all, this one is turning out to be an absolute gem. Yeah, I am super looking forward to getting my hands on the final product. As of filming this video and its release, they're still in Kickstarter. In fact, they've already doubled their Kickstarter goal last time I checked. But I will put all their links in the description, so you make sure you go over there and secure yourself a copy, whether you want physical or just the ROM. Number of ways to get it. But yeah, this one is turning out to be an absolute can't miss. I am super psyched. Hats off to 4 megahertz. I can't wait. Hey, thank you so much for checking out another Homebrew overview. If you have a game that you'd like us to check out, be sure to let us know. I'll have all the links in the description below, but you just go to the website, fill out a form, we'll get something in place. And if you like what we're doing here, please consider liking, subscribing, all the kind of fun YouTube stuff. Until next time, we'll see you in the next video. Late.